Well, the family of late President when I see Sister Judy, I see Kibaki. I know the rest of you, Kenneth David, are all here. Because it got to a stage where Judy was quite a presence. Well, I want to thank the panelists for some very exemplary remarks about President Mwai Kibaki. And I also want to thank the organizing committee. I will be short on protocol because I may be mentioning Ambassador Muthara in my remarks. I thought I should place this on record. And the reason is I didn't have the time because of, if you remember when we laid President Mwai Kibaki to rest, it was quite an occasion. And I didn't have the opportunity to say one or two things. Ambassador Muthara eloquently actually represented all of us then. Therefore, if you allow me, I want to read my short remarks. April 22nd is a date embedded in my mind and thoughts since the death of our beloved third President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Mwai Emilio Kibaki. When I learned that a group of eminent Kenyans launched the Mwai Kibaki Annual Memorial Lecture to keep the memory and ideas of this African icon alive 2 years ago, it warmed my heart and spirit. This is a befitting endeavor worthy of the icon we honor today and the yardstick we judge any Kenyan leader against. Such was his measure. I first met President Mwai Kibaki when I was elected to Parliament in 1985. Oh my goodness, it's actually been 40 years since. On the 10th of this month, marked my 40th anniversary as a leader, having been elected to Parliament then. I met him when I was elected as a young member of Kitui North constituency following a by-election. I was young, and he was the Vice President of the Republic of Kenya, as well as Minister for Home Affairs. I was a greenhorn, and Kibaki had been feted not just nationally, but internationally, as a finance minister who steered the economy with sound fiscal discipline for over 13 years during the First Republic. Internationally respected Time magazine, as has been mentioned, had in 1974 named Kibaki in the top 100 people in the world with the potential to lead. The Time editors had foresight and believed in Kibaki, perhaps even more than Kenyans themselves. 28 years after that heralded article, Mwai Kibaki took the oath of office as the President of the Republic of Kenya. As the Deputy Speaker of our National Assembly, I witnessed firsthand his oratory masterclass. He was an orator, a script writer, not like Malala perhaps, but very close to that. The august floor was his stage and always sold out. When the National Rainbow Coalition won the historic 27 December 2002 general election, President Kibaki appointed me as his first Minister for Foreign Affairs, and then our relationship became more personal. It is that forge of trust and faith, I believe, that allowed President Kibaki to reach out to my party, ODM Kenya as it then was, to save and rescue our nation state following the post-election 2007 violence. Together, we formed what was the first coalition and first negotiated position in the name of the office of the Vice President. I then had the honor and privilege to be sworn in as the 10th Vice President of our country on the 9th of January 2008. President Kibaki made everyone feel at home. He would get our nation laughing. Don't you all remember? Even when I was faced with difficult moments, he would actually say to enjoy. And when things became a little tougher, as an elder statesman, he would call you harsher things. And one time he famously said that because of the Mlolongo system of voting that time, and he had been rigged out of his Othaya constituency, he actually said that even rigging required some intelligence. That was Kibaki. President Kibaki would even other times say very hard things, and you got away with it. President Kibaki listened and he empowered his lieutenants. He was not a micromanager. He reduced taxation across the board and did away with unnecessary and prohibitive laws. President Kibaki's leadership led to the unprecedented 7% growth of our economy, as we've had, from 0.6%. Our infrastructural growth was self-evident, as was a commitment to economic recovery strategy and Vision 2030, as we've just heard from men who worked very closely with him in that regard. President Kibaki was an iconic father figure, a selfless, beloved, and brilliant leader, and his legacy will live on through countless generations. It was my greatest honor and singular privilege remarkably that was him. And you remember he's the first person to say, you will not have a national currency having anybody's head printed on it. And he lived to actually see that happen. One of his least eroded qualities was his ability to restore our constitutional ambition, and we have heard from Professor Kivutha Kibwana, was his advisor in that space, come out very clearly on the steps that were undertaken. Less than 5 years from the costly defeat by the people of the Wako constitutional draft at the November 2005 referendum, President Kibaki promulgated the 2010 Constitution of Kenya on the 27th August 2010. Actually, after that referendum, I found myself missing from the newly constituted cabinet. I was not the only one. Raila ODINGA was also missing. That was Kibaki, and he never followed you up with nasty utterances. Kenya has President Kibaki to greatly thank, and we owe him a debt of gratitude, because our constitution is heralded as one of the most progressive constitutions in Africa, if not the world. It is this constitution that now more than ever holds the fabric of our nation together at these grave and perilous times. Allow me to, for example, because if Kibaki was here, he wouldn't himself shy away from dealing with this matter. Yesterday, Kenya and the world witnessed the most unfortunate assault on democracy, when security agents, acting on orders from above, lobbed tear gas at young students of Butere Girls High School and members of the press at the National Drama Festival in Nakuru. It is an act of criminality against basic values of common decency. It is a direct assault to our democracy and rights of Kenyans as enshrined in our Constitution. And Article 33 of our Constitution, which was given to us as a heritage by President Kibaki, every person has the right to freedom of expression, a right that includes the guarantee for the Butere girls to perform their play without fear or intimidation, The artistic expression is protected under the law. Article 34 further guarantees the freedom and independence of the media. Let us be clear, this RUTO regime has crossed the Rubicon. To the courageous students of Butere Girls, your resolve, even as you sang our national anthem in the face of riot gear and arms, has become a renewed symbol of hope, just like our Gen Zs. You are the true guardians of Kenya's future, bold, unyielding, and principled. Let it be known today, as we honor President Kibaki, who promulgated our sacred document 15 years ago on August 27, 2010, that we will continue to defend the Constitution. We will protect all Kenyans' freedoms and rights, and we will not be silenced, not today, not now, not ever. We say this in honor of His Excellency, President Mwai Kibaki. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I think you clap for him again. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, now let me go back to our now officially program. I think each one of you have a program of today. Before I start, let me take this opportunity to thank the committee, organizing committee of these events. That is in your paper, the back, your left side. There's a committee members' names there. There's Professor Bita Kagwanja, Professor Michael Chege, Professor Kivuda Kibwana, Dr. Mohisa Kitui, and myself, the Madam Judy, who is with us here, and also Ambassador Musyoka, I hope you are around, Abdul Latif, who is our MC of today, and our Secretariat. Let me sincerely thank this committee. We have started meeting and organizing these events of today from January up to today. Up to yesterday, I think that's the end of the yesterday, so that today you can have these events. I sincerely thank all of you. Please, we shall be with you, and the next year, God willing, we shall be continue to do the same job. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Jacob Haji. I'm a Secretary General of Democratic Party. Before I continue, let me recognize former NIS Director Michael Gichagi.